you also goes to our mentors, benefactors, sisters, friends, family, and well-wishers. Thank you for your contributions, your passion, your dedication. Lester Bafoussam remains forever indebted to you. In conclusion, I wish that we all remember that we are the legacy of Our Lady of Lourdes College, Bamenda. Let us live here today with a renewed sense of purpose for our alma mater. Let us continue to call on our Mother Mary to intercede and pray that whatever we do, it will be conditioned by the values of our motto: unity, love, and service. Our Lady of Lourdes, thank you for your keen attention.
Thank you, President of Bafoussam, for the warm welcome and the very kind words. We know that it has not been easy for you, but we are convinced that we will have a very organized and wonderful AGM. Next on our agenda, we have roll call and excuses. Madam SG.
Bafoussam, Bamenda, Boya, Douala, Kumba, Limbe, Kumba. What is up? Limbe, Tuba, USA, Yaoundé,
Our Lady of Lourdes. I think we have a serious situation in the association that I think the General Assembly must know before we listen to the report of elections committee chair and proceed to elections. Leicester Global had a Facebook page. That Facebook page was created in 2019 when I took up office as President General of Leicester. The then PRO, Sarah Bakanesio, set up the page. And that page was being run by her. In 2022, unfortunately, Sarah informed the executive that she was withdrawing from the executive, and I am not a social media person, so the Facebook page was never a concern. Until election campaigns started. When election campaigns started, many of you started flooding my phone with calls, messages, voice notes, complaining about a lesser global Facebook page that was not representing all the members of the association equitably. As President General, I reached out to the former PRO, and she told me she had not been checking the page and the page was not very active. But then on second thought, she came back to me and said she had spoken too fast, and it was actually that Facebook page that was active. And on that Facebook page, they had been posting campaign material because the campaigns had started. But amongst the people who reached out to me were the two other PG nominees who were not fairly represented on that Facebook page. So I called the former PRO and she said, "Oh, sorry, Sister Nina. I added people to the group to help me manage the group because there was this going on and stuff, and we knew that Sarah, for health reasons, could not do all of those things." And so she asked me, "Do you want me to change the administrators to the Facebook page?" I said, "Yes, please do." And so she told me she was going to do it. And that day came and passed. Around 9 p.m. on that day, I called her and I said, "Sarah, you seem to have forgotten we had a discussion about administration rights on that page. Can you please do the needful?" And she promised that she was going to do it. Facebook is getting complicated and stuff. So I reached out to a couple of people who are on social media all the time, and they told me, "Oh, that's not true. To make somebody an admin, it doesn't take 2 minutes. All you do is click on the person's name and add as admin." I didn't know because I don't do Facebook. Sarah strung me along for 1 month, exchanging messages. "What has happened? Why haven't you changed?" And it got to a point where she asked me, "Why do you want admin rights of the page?" And I asked her, "Seriously? I am President General of LESA. There is a Facebook page that is an official LESA Facebook page. I cannot even post a message because when I send a message to that group, to that Facebook page, other people have to vet my message and approve before my message is posted." And so Sarah said no, she was going to do it, she was going to take a trip and stuff. And after a month, honestly, I don't have just that to deal with. So I turned to one of the legal advisors who happens to be a former president of Lesser Douala, that's Sarah's branch, and I asked her to please talk to Sarah about this thing because I just don't understand what's going on. And Sister Patience, one of the other PG nominees, reached out to Sarah, and Sarah promised that she was going to hand over the admin rights. And 2 weeks later, nothing had been done, in spite of Sister P insisting. And then she finally said she had handed over the admin rights to the current PRO, who happens to be the chapter president for Goya. And I called the chapter president for Goya and I asked her, "Do you have admin rights?" She said she didn't know and that she had to check. And she spent the whole day, and she even went onto YouTube to try to find out how to make somebody admin of a page, because apparently, like me, she had no idea. At the end of the day, she sent me a message saying, "Sister, I can't wrap my head around what's going on. I have talked to these girls. Now nobody's answering my calls or my messages. I am tired. I give up." Faced with these circumstances, I wrote to the chair of the elections committee because this was within the elections period and campaigns. I actually joined to see what was going on the Facebook page. And I observed. And then I wrote to the president of the elections committee. I said, well, this is within this elections period, so we could just use this to solve this problem. You could deal with what has to do with elections, and the global body would deal with what has to do with discipline. So the elections committee wrote a call to order, which is not a sanction. A call to order is asking you to do right. They wrote a call to order giving these girls 72 hours to hand over admin rights of the Facebook page, or the PG nominee who is benefiting from undue privileges will be sanctioned. Because when this was going on and the two others were complaining, this PG nominee never complained. And so, when the chair of the elections committee wrote this one-page document, we were taken aback to receive a 10-page reply. We received 10 pages. 10 pages. I know there are a lot of you that have told I'm rude, I'm arrogant, and I'm all of that. But the 10 pages written to the chair of the elections committee, who could even be their mother, was so rude and condescending that I had to start by apologizing to the chair of the elections committee. And in the content of that letter, there were so many falsehoods. There was so much misinformation and misinterpretation that was destined to manipulate not only the members of the association, but the public. I pride myself in my silence because I don't speak all the time. And when I don't speak, it's not because I have nothing to say. It's just because I don't dwell in negativity. What actually got me triggered to respond was a leaked chat message on Lesser Limbe Forum in which Maja Mutanga said the president of the elections committee had sent them a cease and desist letter based on the lies and misinformation of the President General. I think I represent all of you. And I think the Facebook page is not private property, it's the association's property. And so I decided, as President General, to break my silence and respond. I don't know if you read it, but I responded with a 14-pager. I responded with a 14-pager because I felt insulted and humiliated. A Facebook page I had asked to be created for the association was now being managed by 3 people who have no position whatsoever in the association and have no business running that Facebook page. And not only, as I said in the letter, was it insulting, because if this Facebook page, if the page was truly your page, all you would need to tell the chair of the elections committee is, I'm sorry, Madam Chair, you thought this page was a lesser global Facebook page, but it's not. It's a private page. And you screenshot your evidence. And after that evidence, you say, well, since this page is a private page, we can run it the way we deem fit. But it was not a one-page reply. It was 10 pages. And in the 10 pages, I am saddened to say there was fabricated evidence, falsified screenshots to show and claim that these 3 women set up this group and had been running the group from the beginning. But I'm sure when they were doing this, they were not contending with the fact that I had evidence also to show that this Facebook page was set up on the 5th of May 2019. And on the 5th of May, we wrote the purpose for setting up this group. And it started with "My dear lesans, welcome home away from home." And point number 4 said, this Facebook page was for lessons only. A Facebook page that carried a picture of lessons in their official uniform, carried the motto of the association, "Unity, Love, and Service," had as administrators Lesser Global, the PRO, and even at certain points, 2 past presidents of the USA. I was never a part because it was the role of the PRO to run the Facebook page of the association. But in 10 pages, there was so much that was said, including instructions to the president of the elections committee on how to run elections, and about the association's trademarking of the name and all that critique, like people who know it all. And then, after I debunked the lies with a 14-pager, I waited. We say it's a sisterhood, right? So we give sisters a chance. I waited for a week. 72 hours expired on the 7th of February 2025, and on the 13th of February, after consultations with the global executive, we decided that it was high time we sanctioned. And so we sanctioned 3 years with immediate effect. Non-eligibility to vote during these elections and during the elections of 2028. And then you can come back after if you recognize that you did something wrong, to the association as a whole with an apology. And we waited. And then chapter presidents decided to come together. No, yes, and then in 6 hours, that global Facebook page was changed from Lesser Global Facebook page to Lourdes Students Worldwide, and then to Aladi Fireside Chat. And so, it didn't stop at that. We waited. We heard nothing from the 3 girls involved. And then chapter presidents came together and wrote the PG. And they told me that I had not respected due process. I don't know what due process is. If I had spoken to people for 2 months and I have sought the assistance of the legal advisor, and I have gone to the elections committee to call them to order, and nothing was done, I don't know what due process is. And so I seem to think that you are in the sisterhood and I am not. Because if I represent the association, which is one of the functions of the President General in the Constitution, I manage the affairs of Lesser. Is the Lesser Global Facebook page not a lesser affair I should manage? Is it not? It is. And so I thought in that capacity I was managing Lesser Global Facebook page, but the chapter president thought otherwise. And they wrote a letter, which I still insist was written to the PG, but I found it on social media. But despite finding it on social media, I convened them to a Zoom meeting. And during that Zoom meeting, I asked them to express themselves, tell me what the issues were. And all I heard was sisterhood, you should be whatever, it is so hard, it is the sanctions are so, without hearing from the people concerned. Chapter president, because I am a member of the Yaoundé branch as well, my chapter president did not consult me before she went to sign a letter on my behalf. Because they said I didn't consult the General Assembly before I sanctioned. So I asked, did you consult the chapters before you signed? So if you consider you represent your chapters, don't I represent the General Assembly? So let us come to the end of it very quickly so we move to more important things. We sanctioned. But the only thing, every single person admitted that there was wrongdoing. Every single person admitted there was wrongdoing. But they were saying that the sanctions were too harsh. Did you hear from the ladies in question? Was there any sign of remorse? Was there any sign of having done wrong to that extent? To the association we call a sisterhood. And so we waited. Even before they published the election list, we kept hoping that the who was cited would ask them to do the needful because she would fear sanctions. But that did not happen. And then we sanctioned. And after we kept hoping that we will hear something. Hoping, after we spoke to the chapter president and all, and then I kept saying, my surprise is, chapter president, you are coming together to defend people who have been sanctioned. Have they mandated you to defend them? Have they told you they did wrong and they're sorry? I am President General of LESA. I have been insulted since 2022 on a regular basis on the Facebook page that most of you have read. I did not see my chapter presidents come together to defend me. So it looks like you are in a sisterhood and I'm not. And so we waited until the eve and we were getting all kinds of stones thrown at us because the election voting list was not coming out, because we kept hoping that these girls would show some remorse, would do something to be on the list. And fortunately, Sarah Simo of Douala apologized and took Sarah Simo apologized and took off the other two ladies from the forum. Because if she had not taken them off, they would have continued posting and saying all the things that they were saying on the forum and still continuing to want to make you believe that that page was theirs. But in Sarah Simo's apology, if you want me to read it to you, Sarah Simo acknowledges that that page was set up by her. She acknowledges that she did not know that these two ladies who were running the page were campaigning for one candidate and therefore would have been considered conflict of interest and therefore elections malpractice. And if that had been brought to the attention of the elections committee, that candidate would have been stripped of her nomination. And if we had done that, you would have tasked us as being wicked, as being too hard, but these are the steps we took. And so today on the elections list, only Sarah's name is on that list because she did right by the association. So what bothers me now is that I find the two ladies seated in this hall now. We had 10 pages from them. What are we hearing? You were sent the 10 pages. If you didn't read them, and I've just explained. No, we were not enough. You keep using sisterhood when it suits you. You use sisterhood when it suits you. And when you think we should be in a court of law, then you want us to be going back and forth. So on behalf of, in my capacity as President General of the Association, in my capacity as President General of LESA, and in the name of LESA, I will ask Miss Kathleen Domo and Madam Maja Mutanga to leave the hall. Miss Kathleen Domo and Maja Mutanga, can you please leave the hall so we continue with our meeting? We have a very long day today. Let us forget about sentiment and emotions. I presented the case very clearly to you. They had the chance to do right by you and the association, and they did nothing. Chapter presidents who came to me were mandated to speak to them, and they still did nothing. What are you soliciting for? What?
side. Yes.
A lady of what? A lady of what? A lady of what? Please, when I stand up, serious. Let those three ladies stand up. Stand up if they are here, please. Yes. The one who apologized, no, the one who apologized. Please, I don't want more action. If you have anything to say, stand up and say it. Yes. Please, I'm begging on my knees. Yes. This is not a place for more action. Yes. We are civil ladies. If we have to do anything in this hall, we should be disciplined. We are ladies of integrity. Let us be civil. Let us be united. This table, we have people that we have elected. The meeting has given us a rundown of what has been going on. We listen to it. Please, I'm begging and I keep begging. Please, listen. Are the three ladies in this hall? Are the three ladies in this hall? I said three. Are you saying please, please. We have a long day ahead of us. We are going to elect people and put on this table. We are not going to have a president who, when she talks, we talk back. There's no point electing people that will not listen to. Please, a lot of us might not have followed what was going on Facebook. Because sometimes when we talk, we forget that we did not follow up. We are just hearing the end of the story. When I read my heart, thank you very much. We all love ourselves. Yes. Let us not invite the devil in our midst. Please. Please. This is my daughter and she knows I love her. Yes. But if my daughter does not do right, I will not tell you because you're my daughter, don't right. No, no. Let me tell you this. Please. I am begging, I'm a beggar now. We have to move forward. We have to move forward. The president, whenever the agenda which we have approved that agenda. Let us bury our egos, our pride, and everything that makes us come. There is, as you say, there are two sides to every story. We have an agenda. I think the president has said, I think she's given time to say AOB, we have enough to discuss. That's why we have that AOB. So that you don't find yourself on the agenda to come in at AOB. We are just coming here. We are people have been working day and night. In their homes, the house is less. They do all of that for no pay. We are not going to have a president and insult that president. It's not correct. It is not correct. If the president insults me, which is not correct, I will not go to public and also say what I have to say. Social media is good, but it's also damaging. So we should be careful how we use social media. I'm just begging. If you think that you have somebody who is a president you don't want to respect, as long as she's there, we are bound by our culture as children of Mary to listen to her and act the civil manner. So please, that shouting, no, no, we should not have that inside here. We should not. I think if you listen carefully, they have been given the chance to apologize. And one of them has come to apologize. Sometimes you apologize for the sake of peace. For the sake of peace. And if we are children of peace, let us practice that peace. Please, I'm begging. She has asked them to keep out of the hall. Yes. If we are against that, when AOB comes, I can say, Madam President, I did not agree with that action. But let us move as she has told us to move. For now, please, for now. Because we do this and we stand up and sing our anthem, beautifully crafted, but we don't practice it. We have to learn how to practice what we profess. So please, let us just move. Let us just move. And let us just do what we have to do. At the right time. At the right time. Because if you come here and you have been suspended, and it has not been lifted, it means that the president can say anything and do what we like. Is that what we want as president? No. So please, I beg, to all give respect to everything. But let us just move, allow us to move. And please, don't be emotional. Let us try to use our reason. And let us try to be civil. And let us try to as ladies okay, I beg. And that language, I'm also saying that language which was exchanged, that is the kind of language that you can in our constitution. Because when I read some of it was like it's not the very days. Auntie Maria. We are all wasting our time here, and we have elections. I suppose that this is the kind of association that we want. I suppose that you are vehemently trying to take the kind of association we want. This is the General Assembly. This is the General Assembly. Decide what you want.